It's Rob!
Tony! And I'm Jeff.
We're in gaming.
And that's you.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the inn. I'm Rob, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and we are playing the Battlecry River Shaman deck. Definitely a really fun deck to play, a little bit different than our normal kind of decks, or the normal kind of decks you normally see. This deck does include Sire Bronzebeard, so we can expect that double Battlecry for those crazy plays. Our Fire Elemental turns into a fireball pretty much, and you know, Defender of Argus heals for, not heals for, but gives each creature +2/+2 instead of 1. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're going to keep the 1-drop, the Lightning Storm, because we could be going against a Mech Mage, and the Haunted Creeper because that's our turn 2 play. So the fact that we have 2 Haunted Creepers slows us down a little bit. I would have much preferred, much rather have, you know, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, or even a 5-drop. But 2 2-drops really, oh wow, 3 2-drops kind of sets us off on the wrong foot. Tunnel Trog, I mean, we could coin into one of the 2-drops, but there's no really point for that. So Tunnel Trog as is. The deck list always on the right hand side, guys. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Wow, that Frostbolt off the top. The value. Alright, so because we have no 3-drops, I think the Scarab is a good play here. Wow, that still didn't even give us a good 3-drop. I mean, Healing Wave is good, but I would have much rather had a creature to play. I guess we could have picked the 3-drop, the 4/3, I think it is, Silence a Demon, but yeah, whatever. So from here, I think we double Spider. Normally, I would never coin for another Spider, but we're lacking field control. We're going up against what looks to be a Tempo Mage, and we do not want to give up the field that easily. We do have 2 Lightning Storms, though, which will come in, definitely. They'll come in handy later on, but we want him to either ignore the Spiders, which is perfectly fine, or he'll swing into the Spiders, which is fine as well, because they're just going to generate more Spiders, buying enough time to play some other creatures, because he doesn't know we don't have any other fucking creatures in our hand besides an Antique Healbot. What he sees is all he knows. Or what he sees is all he knows. So, definitely going to kill off the Mana Worm. Killing off that. Not worried about the Mad Scientist right now. Even though it has the potential to bring out secrets in his deck, and that's all annoying and shit, the Mana Worm is our priority, as it being, you know, has potential to get to as much attack, as much attack as he can possibly make it with the spells. So Unstable Portal gave him a 1-drop 4/4, so not that, I mean, it's not bad, but it definitely could have been worse for us. Antique Healbot here, just to save it's a mirror entity. It is a mirror entity. So I'd rather it pop onto the Antique Healbot. He doesn't get the Battlecry and a free 3/3. So he pretty much didn't pay any mana for a 3/3 free, wow, I can't talk. A free 3/3. Alright, so it's looking like we're going to be Lightning Storming next turn. And the question is whether we double Lightning Storm, or do we bring out a Totem in Lightning Storm, or do we Jeweled Scarab, see what 3-drop we get, and then we Lightning Storm. So I think the best thing to do here, if we play Jeweled Scarab, it's just going to die because of him playing a spell. He won't even have to waste his ping for 2 mana to kill it, which he'd normally have to do if Flamewaker wasn't down. So I think Totem, and hopefully it gives out a Spell Power Totem. So let's see what it does. Healing Totem, not exactly what we're looking for. So obviously we have to Lightning Storm. Hopefully it hits a 3 on that Healbot. It does. It hits a 3 on the Flamewaker, which is also very nice. So we know, you know, if we can get a Manatide, or not Manatide Totem out, but if we can get, what is the card I'm looking for? Earthshock, yes. So Tunnel Trog, no, Jeweled Scarab to 3-drop. Imp Master is the key here. I forget how good the Jeweled Scarab is. I don't forget how good it is, but it's always like you have 5 mana and then you can fill out your whole mana curve with it. And for some reason I was thinking Tunnel Trog, Jeweled Scarab, and not play a 3-drop, so I play like a 1/1 and a 1/3, but then I leave 2 mana left over, which doesn't make any sense. So that's why I played the Jeweled Scarab over the Tunnel Trog. And we could have, you know, hexed the Flamewaker, but I really don't think it's worth hexing a 2/1, even though it has the potential to clear a field because of its ability. Saving the hex for the, you know, Dr. Boom or a Fell Reaver if he plays them, depending on how aggro he is vital. And it looks like my mother is calling me in this video. I know my dad called me in the past. One of my mother's calling me in this one. It's just a family. Hey, Rob, we know you make videos, but it's time to talk. So hopefully you can't hear the ringing too much. It's just like vibrating all over there. Crazy lag. So he played Archmage, which is pretty bad. He's going to Flame Cannon. Don't hit my Shredder. Of course it hits the Shredder. At least it summons a 3-2 and not like a 1-2. So definitely going to Hex off his Archmage here. Going to kill off the Mana Worm with our Flame Fire Elemental and swing into the Taunt. So we still have a decent field. He does have 5 cards in hand comparative to our only 3 cards in hand. But Neff will generate us 2 Mage cards next turn, which is quite nice. So he's going to Azure Drake. Hopefully he, for 5 mana, what could he do? Dart, oh wow, Sorcerer's Apprentice into what? Fireball? Ooh, Arcane Intellect for 2 more cards. Jesus. This guy is ripping cards off the top. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we Lightning Storm here, try to get that double value out of it. If we Lightning Storm, then we cannot Neff, but I think that's okay if we can clear his field. Alright, sweet. And we're going to play around Flame Strike here. I know I can play these Wolves, but I do not want everything on my side to get Flame Strike and then him to ping down my 6-5. So we're playing around Flame Strike right now. So he's going to Flame Cannon the 3-2. Of course, it couldn't hit one of the totems. I would have been really upset if it hit my 6-5, though. It hit the Shredder and the 6-5. Well, looks like it's getting Fireball down. Obviously, by the Fireball created by Archmage. So he played a Secret. We can only expect that is going to be another Mirror Entity. So let's play the Azure Drake, see what it is. Is indeed a Mirror Entity. We're going to play the Totem guy in between these 2 totems. So if it's a Flame Tongue, we'll be able to attack with our Totem. It is. And we're going to swing for 2. I would normally swing in the Azure Drake if I had some potential to kill it, but I can't. So there's really no point to attack into the Azure and then give him a free kill on my Azure. So as long... Oh, well, it looks like he's going to kill my Azure anyway because he can ping the taunt and then get past it. Unless he's just going face, which he'd be really... Okay, so he's going to kill a Flame Tongue, which is smart. Okie dokie, so... Kill a Shredder. See what pops out of that shit. Okay, and we're going to kill off his Azure Drake, and then we're going to play Neff. We could actually play the Shredder and our dogs, but it would, again, prone to Flame Strike. Ooh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Able to kill off the Micro Mech. So now he definitely has to have at least a Polymorph to deal with this Neff right now. So Sorcerer's Apprentice into Fireball, into Fire. Holy shit. This guy could have killed Neff, but he goes face instead, not knowing that we have Healing Wave. Wow. Okay, then he just concedes. So that makes sense. I was about to say, dude, you could just kill Neff, and then at least you have a card on board. Maybe I don't have a creature. What I did have, you know, multiple creatures and a heal. But besides the point, dude, Jesus. Double Fireball face. Alright, so moving into another game here. Unfortunately, we did not get to play Bronzebeard that game, which is kind of sad because this whole deck revolves around, you know, no, it doesn't revolve around him. It doesn't need him in the deck, but it definitely benefits a lot from having Bronzebeard out. Along with that, for those of you who are new to the channel or new to watching this video, we always play 3 ranked games. We win all 3. We talk about the deck like I've been doing. And yeah, that pretty much just sums up what we're doing. So going to keep the Tunnel Trog and the Feral Spirits. I think we're going to get rid of the Mr. Bronzebeard. It's not good to have him this early on. It's good to combo him with things when you can get value out of him right away instead of playing him and then, you know, him just dying to a Lava Strike or a Lava Burst or something like that. So on turn 1, obviously, we're going to play the Tunnel Trog. Turn 2 is going to be dependent on what he plays, whether we're going to use our passive, we're going to Flame Tongue, or we're going to coin into the dogs. That all depends on what he does. Hopefully, he doesn't do anything too crazy. Oh, we got a 2-drop. That worked. So, of course, Tunnel Trog, like I said. And then turn 2 looks like we'll just play Haunted Creeper, depending on what he does, of course. So he's going to bring out the Totem, the Taunt Totem, which is fine. Alright, so I think the... Wow. I think the Haunted Creeper in this situation is good, because we already have a good 3-drop to play, and we also can coin into a good 4-drop. So I don't think the Jeweled Scarab is ideal right now. So he's going to kill off the Tunnel Trog? Yep. Alright, so it looks like he's playing Mech Shaman, but has a really slow start. So we're going to play... I think we can coin into our 2/6, and then if he plays anything, our Jeweled Scarab next turn will be able to deal with that. Yeah, so we can Scarab next turn and Flame Tongue or Scarab and Totem, and he's going to have to at least swing in. He'd have to have a Rock Biter weapon to deal enough damage with that mace. So you need a Rock Biter and a Mech out. So he has a Mech out, and he Lightning Bolted it. Okay, so this is going to be enough to get rid of it. Holy, wow, he double Lightning Bolted. So he's going to be Overload 2 next turn. and he wasted 2 of his burn cards. And he's going to swing directly with that to boost up the whirling, which is... Normally, this would be a really bad situation, but because he just wasted a lot of cards, he's going to be overload 2 next turn. If we Spirit, he's just going to be able to kill both the Spirits with the Whirling. But if we play the 2/6, he's actually going to have to... We're not overloaded, and he's going to have to swing both swings into only the 4-drop. So I think playing the 4-drop and ending our turn, and then, of course, swinging with our 1-drop is fine. And then next turn, if it comes to that, we'll be able to Flame Tongue our Haunted Creeper. Or first we'll play the Jeweled Scarab and then Flame Tongue the Haunted Creeper. And hopefully our 2/6 will ping the 5/4 for 2 damage from playing the Battlecry of the Jeweled Scarab. So that's ideal situation what's going to happen here. If he Lava Bursts this, holy shit. So he's going to Lava Burst it, swing once into it, and then swing go face. Wow, this guy is greedy as fuck. Or he's just wasting all of his burn, which is perfectly fine with me. So we don't even have to worry about, you know, double Lightning Bolt, double Lava Burst, because we're just going to be able to do this. And I think we could either play the Spirits, but that would be bad because then we'd be overloaded next turn and we couldn't Fire Elemental. So I think just bring out a 3-drop. And the fact that we know we're going to overload possibly next turn, the Unbound Elemental in this situation is good. If we did not have the Spirits in our hand, I would pick Spider Tank, but the Unbound Elemental with the Spirits next turn seems like a good play. It'll be the stats of 1/1 higher than playing the Spider Tank. So the Spider Tank's a 3/4, but the Elemental is going to be a 3/5. So it actually has 1 more health. Not huge significant difference, but I mean, having 1 more health could in fact, I mean, why not, right? So we're going to play, we could play Fire Elemental, or we could play Shredder and passive, but I think we can Spirit, or play our Unbound Elemental and then Spirit. And I know for a fact his deck does not run Lightning Storm, which is... he's running Reynad's what looks to be Rush Shaman right now. He's played every card that's in that deck so far, including the Leper Gnome, which is very surprising. That's why it made me think of Reynad's, because his deck runs the Leper Gnomes. Normally, the Shamans do not run Leper Gnomes. They run mostly all mechs and then maybe even a Fel Reaver. But the fact that he played the Leper Gnome gave me an idea of what kind of deck, what kind of version of the Shaman mech he's running. So he pretty much net decked a pro, is what I'm saying. Not saying that's bad either. I mean, everybody looks online for decks and stuff, so I mean, you're looking at my deck right now. But hopefully you don't copy it verbatim. Hopefully you see the deck, you see the foundation, and you change things to your play style, which is what I hope. This is just kind of, like I said in so many of my videos, my deck guides are just, you know, a sort of foundation for you to be like, okay, that's a cool kind of deck he built. Let me see what I can do to match my play style with the deck he built. But if you want to play it as it is, that's fine too. All good in the hood. Okay, so we got 5 mana to do big things with. I think if we Shredder, then we don't draw. So I think Azure Drake to draw. And then we swing into his Taunt, and then swing directly for 4 big old damage. He only has 2 cards in hand. So this game was pretty much over the second he had to waste, you know, all his Lava Bursts and Lightning Bolts on our cards to clear field, to try to build up his field. But we were just able to pretty much deal with everything that came our way. The Mech Warp, yeah, he had a really slow start, and then the fact that we've been able to deal with everything is just kind of guaranteed us a win here. So obviously we're going to Fire Elemental to kill the Warper. From there, the Cogmaster is going to get unbuffed, which makes it very easy to kill with our Azure Drake, or even our dog. Yeah, that's right. Why did I Azure Drake? It only has 2 health. For some reason, I thought I had 3 health. And then we're pushing lethal next turn. So normally I don't well play till the game's over, but it's pretty much, this guy doesn't run any form of field clear. All he has is, you know, damage. So there'd be just no way to get through this wall that we've built. Okay, so that's game number 2. Looking for that 3rd win, or that 3rd win in ranked to finish off this deck guide. Hopefully this deck can do it. I'm sure it can. We've not seen any Bronzebeard action yet. That just shows this deck actually can work without him. We haven't even seen any Rumbling Elemental yet, which is a really cool card in my opinion. The whole point of this deck is like Bronzebeard and Rumbling Elemental just comboing off of each other while playing Battlecries. And we haven't really shown any huge kind of potential yet with that. It's just been, you know, just outvaluing people. So I'm keeping the Spirits and the Flame Tongue Totem because on turn 3 we Spirit, and then the next turn you only have 2 mana, and then if you put a Flame Tongue in between those 2 wolves, they turn into 4 3s instead of 2 3s, which can contest most 4 drops and even some 5 drops. So that's why I did that. So coining into the We could actually coin into this the Jeweled Scarab just to see what 3-drop, or we could coin into the Spider, and I think the Haunted Creeper in this situation may be a little bit better because if he's playing Rush Warlock, if he plays Leopard Gnome off the start, at least we get 2 more 2-drops on the field, and we already have a 3-drop in our hand that we have planned out with the Flame Tongue. So, and then also we don't know what kind of Warlock he's playing yet. We're just assuming it's Rush. So saving the Jeweled Scarab to give us a card that we know will be beneficial versus a card that we don't exactly know yet. So I think this Jeweled Scarab here is a better play than the Flame Tongue, so he doesn't know we have it. Mana Tide Totem is obviously the best choice in this situation. We're going to hit his Creeper for 1 because now if he attacks our Jeweled Scarab, it'll pop it. So we're just hoping he doesn't have a Knife Juggler, pretty much. Like, if he has a Knife Juggler, like, if we didn't attack it and he has a Knife Juggler, he couldn't possibly kill it, so it didn't matter. But if he has, he has a Knife Juggler. I made the bet that he didn't have the Knife Juggler because then it wouldn't break open. But now it breaks open and he's going to be able to kill at least. Oh, there's 1 card down. And he hits face, which is really good. So now the fact that he didn't kill one of our 1/1s makes it so he can swing both our spiders into his Knife Juggler, which was very unfortunate for him. And then we're going to be able to play our dogs. And then next turn, if he doesn't kill the dogs, which I don't think he will, we'll be able to Flame Tongue Totem. So right now, our worst case scenario is if he Imp Implosions. Imp Implosion would be horrible. If he hits like a 4, we have no way of dealing with the field right now. And we can't even do anything next turn either because all we were planning to do was Flame Tongue Totem. And sorry for yawning and seeming like I'm out of breath or not talking as much. I've actually done a lot of videos today. So, yeah, I did like 2 or 3 videos today. I just got home and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do another video. I've been kind of slow in my videos. I want to put one out at least every other day. And some days, it takes at least 3 days to put one out. And that's just because it's heading to the end of the semester. And there's just so much work to be done. So I think swinging into each one of these 1-drops so he doesn't power overwhelming either of those, kind of clearing up his field a little bit. And like we said, we're going to throw the Flame Tongue in between the Wolves, making it 4-2. And normally, having 2 HP, really not that big of a deal. But the fact that they contest his Shredder right now, he doesn't want to pop his Shredder just to kill 1 dog that we have 2 of that we only paid 3 mana for. So essentially, we played 1.5 mana for the card he just played 4 mana with. So hexing his Sledge Belcher, normally we would never hex something as small as a Belcher, but it's a crucial point in this game where we need to make value plays and we need to get board control, because once this deck loses board control, it's over. Unless you've got double Lightning Storm or Strike, where the fuck you want to call it, I just call it Chain Lightning for short. You're done. So this deck really you have to maintain field control with this deck, or at least match your opponent. So there's the Imp Implosion we did not want on turn 3 or turn 4. He hits 2, which is really sorry for him. I'm guessing a Dark Bomb onto the other 4/3, or Dark Bomb onto the Flame Tongue. I was gonna say if he Dark Bomb the Wolf and not the Flame Tongue, I would have been very surprised and kind of might have called him semi-retarded. So I think we Shredder, and then we Flame Tongue in between the Wolf and the Healing Totem. We swing the Healing Totem into the Shredder, and then we see what comes out of that. If it's a Millhouse, we'll be able to deal with it. So it's Commander, so we're actually just going to kill that. And we are left with, again, our field is just a little bit bigger than his. We're equal card advantage, but he does have the go right now. So he can't kill either of our cards on the field, which is really nice. And then Dr. Boom is coming out next turn, which is fantastic. And then we have potential with the Mana Tide Totem to draw. As soon as we can get the opening to be able to survive and not worry about the field anymore, we play the Mana Tide. So he actually built up quite a fucking defense here, and he definitely is making plays. But we'll be able to deal with it accordingly. So I think we Dr. Boom. Normally I would think about Fire Elementaling just because it can kill a creature right away. But Dr. Boom, because we're at 27 health, and the fact that he only has most of his creatures out are pretty small. The only reason the 3/2 looks kind of scary and the 3/3 is because of the Direwolf. So I'm pretty sure he's just going to go face here, or he's definitely going to kill off at least the Shredder. I don't know. He could get a Corruption from this, and then it'll make our Dr. Boom only be able to trade off 1 creature. So we got the Mortal Coil, which is really nice off the Dark Peddler, which is why I really enjoy the Dark Peddler. It is such a great card. And we got Thalamos. I'm pretty sure we got Thalamos a couple games ago, if not last game. I think it was our first game. So that's good. Or was it I don't know. I might have just been getting a lot of Thalamos out of my Shredders. So we went face, pretty expected. Loatheb, so he's scared. Not scared, but he stops us from using our Lightning Storm, which we don't have anyway. So definitely going to use our Fire Elemental here to get rid of the Taunt creature. From there, we're going to use our Bomb to kill off the Direwolf, see what it hits and do. Hopefully, it'll hit either the Defender of Argus or the Peddler. Hits the Peddler for 3. Nice. We're going to now swing that into there to kill off that, and then use our Bomb to swing directly. I could have used the Bomb to attack the Argus, but the chances of it, hitting the Argus are 50-50. So I'd rather just save the Bomb, to be honest. We could have saved Dr. Boom, but I'd rather just not chance the Bomb, waste the Bomb hit, potentially, hitting a creature or him face. So, I mean, you could have done that either way. You could have just hoped it hit the Defender of Argus for 2 or higher. So it'd been a 50% chance it hit the Argus, and then it would have been a 75% chance that it hits higher than 2. So it was a 50% chance than a 75. So I guess those aren't bad odds to save the Boom, but I'd rather save the Bomb. It's just my opinion. Because we know he's playing... Actually, he could be playing Reno Lock, to think of it. He's only played 1 Dark Peddler, 1 Imp Implosion. Like, everything's been in 1s so far, and it hasn't started off huge. He's kind of been trying to stabilize. So I think he actually might be playing Reno Lock now that I'm like thinking about it a little bit more. Anyway, swinging into his Antique Healbot, swinging for 1, because obviously Rush Lock would not be playing Healbot. Healbot's played in like Dragon Lock, which he hasn't played any dragons, and then Reno. It's also played in Hand Lock, but he hasn't passived on turn 1. He played Shredders, which aren't found in Hand Lock. So he's definitely playing Reno Lock. Okay. So Kel'Thuzad, definitely a weird card to go in a Reno Lock deck, and he's going to Soulfire. Okay, so Imp Gang Boss down. Wow, the Hex off the top. I'm sorry. I think I said that twice now. We've gotten Hex exactly when we needed it twice now, which has definitely been game-changing. Another Drake. So we're going to use... Ooh, man, I thought that would hit... If it would have hit the taunt, we would have missed out on 1 damage. But the fact that 2 hit face and our 1 totem can kill off that... the Hex taunt's really nice. And the fact that this Mana Tide totem is just going ham right now. If you at least get 2 charges out of Mana Tide totem, you're doing it right. So I really don't think there's anything he can do here besides maybe a Twisting Nether, which I do not believe he plays. A Hellfire would also be kind of devastating. Or a Shadow Flame. Wow, that would clear my board. So a Void Terror. Hopefully he takes our 1/1 totem or our 1/3 Tunnel Trog or our Taunt. So he took the 1/1 totem. Nice. Unlucky for him. That's a pretty unlucky game for him, to be completely honest. So I think we just Lightning Storm twice because we can. Do we get the Spell Power totem? We don't. So just Lightning Storm. We're going to power up this Tunnel Trog because it being a 1/3 is kind of sad and depressing, and I just want to see how big it can get. So we got the 5/3 Tunnel Trog on the board. That value. Unfortunately, wow. So hit our Bomb into it, and hopefully our Bomb does at least 1 damage to it. Ooh, 4 damage. That's value. All right, swinging for 5, swinging for 2, swinging for 3. That worked out very, very well. I really didn't want to have to swing our 2/6 or our 5/3 into it. And again, the Mana Tide totem going ham with the draws. So the only card here that could save him is Reno Jackson, and then following turn like a Twisting Nether. If he's playing Reno Jackson, which I'm pretty sure he is. Oh, man. Reno Jackson off the top for the 21 heal. Hey, Bronzebeard, there you are in our 3rd game after we really don't need you. Alright, so playing Loatheb to stop the Twisting Nether next turn. Hopefully this hits... Okay, so it hit the Reno, but it really didn't matter because we're going to have to kill off one of our creatures anyway. And then we're going to swing for 1, swing for 2, and then swing for 4. And end our turn. So hopefully, I don't think he's playing Twisting Nether. But who knows, right? We'll play around it or play semi into it because we're playing a lot of creatures. But we played Loatheb to stop it because it does cost 8 mana. So he just gave up. That is 3 wins in the row with the Battlecry River Shaman deck. Unfortunately, Bronzebeard did not see a decent amount of play. Or a lot of play at all, for that matter. But at least we got to see the Rumbling Elemental and kind of how the deck is played. Obviously, like I said, with the Bronzebeard... Hold on 1 second. My voice is going out. So obviously with the Bronzebeard, you want to play them, comboing them with the Azure Drakes, the Antique Heal Bot for 16 heals, the Fire Elemental, the Dr. Booms, the Neff. So just make sure you're playing him and at least getting, a decent card value out of him before he can die. Because obviously I said obviously a lot, he's going to be the first one targeted by your opponent, especially if they notice you're playing mostly Battlecries. Looking at the deck list here, this deck is a little bit weird, so we'll talk about... I won't go into too much detail about each card just because my voice literally cannot handle it right now, but I'll do my best. So Earthshock, running one of these, this comes in handy whether you're using it on Sylvanas the Windrunner, the Secret Paladin, if you're, taking off a buff like Blessings of the King, you're silencing their Tyrion. I shouldn't really have to explain why a 1-drop silence that could potentially do up to 2 or 3 damage if you've got Azure Drake or a Spell Power Totem on the field is good. Tunnel Trog, the 1-drop card that Shamans really needed. It actually gives you +1 attack for each overloaded crystal that your card or spell does. So it's not you play an overload and it gets +1 attack. If your card costs 1 overload, he gets +1. If it costs 2 overload, like Lightning Storm, he actually goes to 3 attack. Like we saw, so he actually gains 2 attack. And he gains 2 attack, but is then 3 attack. That was confusing. The Flame Tongue Totems, these go well with your Haunted Creepers, your Jeweled Scarabs, your Feral Spirits. It's just a great card, along with using it so your totems can attack. We don't run Bloodlust, which is I find a lot of the time I'll have like a field full of creatures like we saw the last game, and having a Bloodlust would instantly win us the game. So I wouldn't say it's a bad idea to maybe try a Bloodlust in this deck. It seems like it'd be a little weird and it's not like it'd fit well, but I think it might actually work. So if you want to throw in a Bloodlust, and let me know how that works, I'd be up for grabs on that idea. The Haunted Creeper, like I said, works well with the Flame Tongue Totem. The 1/1s can be Flame Tongue Totemed, like, we've seen that many times, so definitely makes valuable trades there. The Jeweled Scarab helps us generate some decent 3-drops. The Tuskar Totemic is a great Shaman 3-drop, but unfortunately it's not consistent enough. It doesn't summon the Totem Golem every time like we would want. Most of the time it summons, the probability that it summons a value totem like Flame Tongue, Totem Golem, or Vitality is lower than if it's going to summon, the normal totems that a Shaman summons. So that's why we're running the Jeweled Scarab, to be able to draw into some better 3-drops, to also have more than one of the same 3-drops. So that can be Hex, Lightning Storm, you can get another Bronzebeard from it. It is up to any spell, creature, or neutral creature 3-drop in the Shaman class. So it could be possibly... I've gotten Bronzebeard before out of my Jeweled Scarab, so now there's 2 Bronzebeards in my deck, which has been very valuable. Double Hex, we're actually running Double Hex because there's no BGH in this deck. The fact that, there is no BGH it makes it so we can't remove as many creatures as we should, so running Double Hex is essential. We kind of skipped over the Feral Spirit. This is, again, putting creatures on the board early on to kind of handle a lot of the rush decks. Normally I don't recommend Feral Spirits in my Shaman, and it hasn't been in there before because there's been other cards to compensate for the rush that we get if you're playing, a rush hunter. But I find the 2/2/3s do a really good job at kind of slowing them down, like we've seen. The Bronzebeard, not going to explain them why that's good. The Lightning Storm, not going to explain why that's good. The Totemic, we've already covered. 1 Defender of Argus, this is just to throw, again, some more taunts in the deck. It also counts as the Battlecry with Bronzebeard, so does the Totemic, and so does the Jeweled Scarab, which I haven't mentioned. We didn't get to see any play of it, but it's there for, your knowledge. Piloted Shredder, not going to go over why that's amazing. The Rumbling Elemental, this is for every time you play a Battlecry, it has the potential to do 2 damage to a random enemy minion or their face, which is great because most of the cards in the deck, like I said, are Battlecry. So this, along with Bronzebeard on the field, you see some good combos, you get some great synergy, and you're able to really control the board. The Antique Heal Bot, one of these, I feel like 2 is too much and 1 is just enough. You could run Healing Wave instead, but then that bogs down your 3-drops. I felt like this deck only had 4 5-drops, and 3 5-drops, and throwing in the Antique Heal Bot as its 4th is nice. Also, Sledge Belcher wouldn't be bad in here, but the fact that, Antique Heal Bot is a Battlecry, and the fact that it could heal 16 due to the Bronzebeard, really nice. The Azure Drakes, we see those a lot in the Shaman decks. It's because the Shaman lacks the draw. It's also really good with the spell power, so if, your Lightning Storm into the... or you Azure Drake into Lightning Storm, definitely does a lot of damage there. The Lothab... just really helps out because by the time turn 5 rolls around, you probably have at least 3 or 4 creatures on the field. I mean, even if you only have 2 or 3 and you don't have 4, it's still good to kind of make sure your opponent can't play that flame strike when they want to. So you're playing against a mage, you know, you're heading on in turn 7, and you've got most of the cards in the deck do have below 4 HP. So you just kind of can stop him there. You make valuable plays with him. Also good against Freeze Mage. The Fire Elemental is fantastic with Bronzebeard. It allows you to do 6 damage, whether it's to a face or to a creature. So that's a free Fireball coming from your 6-drop. So a Fireball's a 4-drop, and this is a 6-drop. So essentially you're paying 2 mana for a 6/5 if Bronzebeard's out. Alright, Bronzebeard, yeah. And then the 7-drop Dr. Boom. I'm not going to explain why Dr. Boom is good. And then Neff is just another big bulky card. If Bronzebeard's on the field, then you get 4 cards from Neff. Neff gives you 4 cards from the opponent's class if you use him with Bronzebeard out, which is also very fantastic. And like we've seen, Neff definitely pulls some great cards sometimes. So with that, kind of wraps up this deck. Let me know if you have any comment, questions, or concerns with it, or if I skipped over something you'd like to see. I'm always up to hear what you guys have to say about what I've made and what you see that I can improve on. So always open for that. With all of that said, I am Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.